Today on Budget Lawns, we're going to get real with a motivation conversation about lawn care. Because somebody's just got to say this stuff, and I figure, why not be me? You don't want to miss this. Yep, that's me mowing my lawn for the very first time in May of 2017. Now, aside from the fact that it doesn't look anything like this anymore, really there are only two things that were different then. One, I wasn't ashamed to take my shirt off to mow the lawn. That doesn't happen anymore. And two, I actually kind of know what I'm doing. I had absolutely zero clue what I was doing the first time I mowed my lawn. The only other time I'd mowed it was for my dad when I was a little kid. This was my first time when I built this house to take care of a lawn, and I was bound and determined to have one of the nicest lawns in the neighborhood. And I think I've been pretty successful at that. Welcome back to Budget Lawns, my friends. Today, I just feel like a lot of these things need to be said. I've said them before. I've had very brief videos about them already. I've mentioned these things a lot in my other videos, but today I kind of want to just dive into these things. And these are just the 4 simple steps to improve your lawn. Okay? These are beginner steps. So if you're just getting started, you feel lost, you feel hopeless, you need to watch this because it's not as difficult as you think it is. Now, let's lay some ground rules here. This video, it's not to take jabs at anyone. It's not to say doing things certain ways are wrong. It's not to say some people don't know what they're talking about. It's just to simplify things for those folks that are just getting started and want to kind of ease into this to learn lawn care so they can have a nice lawn like a lot of us do. So, before we get started, I would ask you, if you find something helpful in this video, please consider subscribing. I appreciate all the people that are subscribed already. Hit that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment down below. I like engaging with y'all. And, be sure to hit that notification bell so you know each and every time a new video gets uploaded. And speaking of a new video, we're keeping up with the 2020 lawn season guide down below. And this weekend, we're going to further that because we've got our first round of fertilization coming up. So if you need to get caught up on that playlist, go check those out. And stay tuned for the next chapter in that book as we make our way through this season. But back to the 4 beginner lawn steps to have a nice lawn if you're just getting started. I bring these up because I look at a lot of things on the internet and it can really get overwhelming. Almost to the point where it's like, how do you even get started? 1, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And 2, you probably don't have time for all that. And 3, do you even know if you really enjoy lawn care? Like, do you want to put all that effort and time into it and, and money, and then you go, oh, that wasn't worth it. I don't think I can keep up with this because it takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of consistency, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. So my methodology is just kind of get into the basics, learn those, learn how your grass and your lawn and everything responds, and then you can start adding layers. Because if you start asking a lot of questions on the internet, people are going to say, oh, you got to do a soil test. Never done one. You got to aerate. Never done that either. You have to dethatch. Nope. Never done that either. All these things out there that it's all great advice. And I'm not saying I'll never do those things. I likely will. But just getting started, those aren't the things you need to be focused on. I'm 3 years into my house and I'm just now starting to think about those things. For the first 3 years, I kept it bare bones basics. And that's what we're talking about today. First, mowing. I just did a video about mowing tips and benefits. I'll leave that link down below so you can go check that out. Mowing is so important to having a nice lawn. And you better like it because you gotta do it often. I mow 2 to 3 times a week. The benefits to mowing, you have to take advantage of them. It promotes thicker, more uniform growth. It's gonna help you fight diseases. It's gonna help you fight pests. It's just going to give you a healthier lawn altogether. And I'm not saying you got to mow 2 to 3 times a week like I do, but you have to keep it to at least once a week, bare minimum. Mowing, step number 1, start there. Don't think about anything else. Grass likes to be mowed. The more you mow it, the more it wants to grow. It tells those roots to dig deeper and grow. And you'll start seeing your lawn fill in and get nicer just from mowing. And then you may ask, well, do I mow it high? Do I mow it low? You need to check with your grass type and see which grass types prefer what height for healthier, greener, better grass. And we'll talk about some other mowing height advantages here in just a minute when we get to one of our other steps. But step number 2, you have to water it properly. And there are some secrets to watering. Just make sure you get an inch of water a week. Maybe in the hot part of the summer, you get an inch and a half. You don't know how much you're getting. You've heard the old tuna can trick, I hope. A tuna can is right at an inch. Eat you a can of tuna, keep that thing, put it out on your patio, your sidewalk, wherever it may be, and just make sure that thing gets filled up at least once a week. You know, you have to make sure you're watering properly because you don't want to overwater. You don't want to, keep it moist and wet all the time and with the humidity and the heat, and then you can start running into problems with fungus and disease and things that you are trying to avoid. And you don't want to underwater as well for obvious reasons. It'll start to dry out, and then you're dealing with a whole nother set of problems. So just make sure it's getting about an inch of water a week. Water in the morning so it gets, that nice amount of water to keep it damp during the day so it doesn't dry out. And you don't want to water at night because then there comes that chance for disease and fungus by letting that water sit on the lawn overnight and not evaporating. And just when I say don't water too much, I have found that the lawn likes to be watered and dry out a little bit, and water and dry out a little bit, because as it dries out, those roots are starting to dig deeper looking for moisture to get a drink. And that's why I say don't water too much, because you have benefits of letting it dry out just a little bit. But once it gets to that point, you got to get it wet again. Those are some simple watering tips. We're going to do another watering video, and I'll show you how I take care of water in my lawn here real soon. I've had a request for that. If you have any requests, make sure you leave those down in the comment section below. Number 3, fertilize it. Feed it. Soil tests, yeah, they're great. You need to know what's going on in your soil, but do you really need to know right off the bat? Anything you do is going to be better than what it was. If you're just getting started or you're trying to take over a lawn that somebody neglected, I've never done a soil test. And for the first 3 years, all I did was throw an organic fertilizer on there. ProCare Natural, Milorganite, there's several others out there. And I did that because I didn't have to get scientific with it. I didn't have to know how many pounds per thousand or anything. The organic slow release fertilizers don't burn the lawn. If you accidentally put too much, no harm, no foul, you're okay. Just spread it out there heavy and let the lawn take whatever nutrients it's going to get from that, and that will be better than where you were before. Now, I mentioned I'm going to start my fertilization schedule for the season coming up really, really soon. And this will be my first time, other than when I leveled my lawn last summer, to use a combination of a synthetic and an organic. So stay tuned for that video and I'll break down why I'm doing that. But for you, for now, just put down organic. Just feed your lawn on a regular basis. Try to do it through the season. About once a month. I do mine in May, June, July, and then I skip the hot part of August and then come back in September for a fall fertilization. And then make sure you're mulching those clippings as well when you mow, because all those clippings will go back down into the turf as organic matter, and that will add extra fertilization and nitrogen for you at the same time. Again, I say these things not saying if you're getting advice from other people that they're wrong. I just want to simplify this for you because I simplified it for myself in the beginning and I have had really great results. Those are your 3 main steps right there. Mow it, water it, and feed it. Step number 4 is a bonus. And I didn't do this at all the first year. I waited till my 2nd year in the home to do it. And I've had a successful program doing this since, and now I am fairly weed-free, almost weed-free. So step number 4 is a weed control program. And that starts, in my opinion, that opinion is changing. But for you, you're probably taking over a lawn that's just a mess. And that starts with a post-emergent application. That means you've got weeds, they've come up, you need to kill them. And I've done a review recently about Spectricide's weed stock for lawns. They're pre- and post-emergent products. I'll leave that link below as well. You need to watch that because it gives a review of the products and it tells you exactly how I did things and saw such really, really good results. So I highly recommend that product. But again, I didn't use it at all my first year. All I did was mow, water, and feed it. Mulched up the clippings. I just saw everything that went back down into the soil as organic matter. And then by year 2, that's when I started spraying for weeds. And then year 3, which was last year, I started a pre-emergent program in the fall to tackle the poana problems that I had. Then I did another application at the start of this year. And now I'm pretty much poana free. So weed control, if you've got a lot of them, don't sweat it. You can take care of them. It's really not that big of a deal. Nothing in lawn care is that big of a deal. It just takes time and patience and hard work. People ask me all the time, like, how do you get your lawn that nice? I say, you really, really have to enjoy it. It has to be a hobby. It's not something that you can put on the back burner or just do every once in a while. You have to be out on the lawn a lot. And if you find it fun like I do, then it makes it a lot easier. But as far as weed control goes, if you're one of those that wants to do it more naturally, more organically, because I try to do that as much as possible, but sometimes weeds are just a booger and you gotta use the sprays and the granules to take care of them. Some tips for managing weeds without using chemicals. There's a lot of debate over this, mow high, mow low. Depending on your grass type, you need to check that. But in the beginning, I mowed my Bermuda higher, which people say you can't mow Bermuda high. I did. And I did that to help naturally control weeds. By mowing higher, I would starve the soil of the sunlight and the heat and those conditions that weeds thrive on. I would eliminate those and it helped me control the weeds. That thick, tall Bermuda grass would kind of shade the soil and crowd out any weeds that were trying to come in. And mowing high will also help in your watering because you won't get as much sunlight to the soil and it won't dry it out as fast, so it helps you retain moisture. So you see all these are kind of intertwined. So you just got to really find what works best for you. I got rid of my weeds. Now I'm mowing low. That's working best for me. A lot of this, as I've mentioned in past videos, lawn care is a lot of trial and error. You know, you learn from experience. There are a lot of right answers, there are a lot of wrong answers, and there are a lot of ways to do the same thing. You just have to dive in and get started with the beginner basics. Mow it, water it, fertilize it, and control your weeds. I promise you, if you do those 4 things, You're going to see really good results. You're also going to learn a little bit about yourself. Do I even like this at all, or do I just want to pay somebody else to do it? Because you may find that you don't have time. But if you do have time, that's when you start adding those other steps. Aerating, dethatching, putting down compost or doing a soil test, all those other things you're going to hear about. And I completely agree with the folks that say those things. I just believe that when you're first getting started, they are not absolutely necessary. They can sure help. If you want to go that route, you're gung-ho, I would not tell you not to. But I would say if you're like I was in the beginning and just wanted to learn the basics, I've given you everything you need here to get started. So it's May 1st. What are we waiting on? It's perfect. Let's get rolling in the lawn. All right, that's all we've got today on Budget Lawns. I appreciate you watching. I really do. I really am grateful for each and every one of you that tunes in, and I love to answer your questions and chat with you. So again, make sure you leave a comment below and hit that subscribe button and thumbs up button, all that fun stuff that gives me the motivation and energy to keep putting these videos out there for you. Stay tuned for the next chapter in our 2020 lawn season guide. That's coming up really, really soon. Take care, y'all.